Ideme so niski strasti? Ajde, ideme malce so niski strasti, nešto, dojde letno, ljeto se taka, poslobodni ovo, ona, vamo, tamo. I što vi budi strasta, što ve vas budu, što ve ježi, što vi gi vrti, pogledajte i vikate, što vi budi perverzija. Normalno, najnoviji od mobilen telefon. Što mi padna jedno čudo na radar, inače da vi kažem deka stranata na koja sega ideme, vi često gi proverujete telefonite, se vika GSM Arena, GSM Arena. Ja znajete? Vi ja znajete? Ja znajete site. I pa da vi kažem, Bugarin ja napravil. Među prvite ja napravi i alal mu vera deneska je jedno od najvlijatelnite vo svetot. Za koji mobilen zborime? Zborime za mobilen što tuku beše realiziran ili objaven ili pušten vo prodažba OnePlus 7 Pro. Vo maj 2019. Eve poglednete nekoliko sliki od njega. Mobilen ko mobilen, ubav, čat, pat, kamerče tu iskača i сега ќе речеш, ама шо, ja sakam iPhone, ja sakam Gayphone, ja sakam Samsung, ja sakam ova. Еве да видиме кои се неговите карактеристики. Прво, екранот е 6,67 инчи. Или, што би рекле нашите, Јорго, мегали екранош за тебе капиталисто, мегали, карпузи, за тебе за сестра купи еден, тројца гледа. 43 мегапиксели е камерата со 12 гига RAM и 4000 милиампер часови е батеријата. Абе, лиги ми потекла. Android 9.0 со 256 гигабајти меморија во него, без дополнителна картичка. Значи, излезен е во мај месец, да видиме, Android 9.0 користи платформа, Oxygen OS 9.5.7, Qualcomm chipset SDM 855, Snapdragon 856, octa-core, Adreno 640 е графичката. Меморија, нема картичка за дополнителна, но има во него 256 гигабајта. Остај друго го видов денеска у продавница. Абе, знаеш она деца на 50-60 години кој ќе залепевме фаци пред сладкарници и онака го шмукаме стаклото и се лигаем, исто. Dual LED, Dual Tone Flash панорама 2016 3060 фрейма, 240 фрейма на Full HD до 240 фрейма. Како ли изгледа slow motionот на ова? Селфи камерата изнесува 16 мегапиксела и е поп-ап моторизирана, значи се јавува онака стиснеш копче, паде дугме, стиснеш дугме, паде джак на леѓа. Па трчиш да не падне уше, значи селфи камерата, а главната камера е 48 мегапиксели, па има уште една од 8 мегапиксели телефото, со три пати зум, значи не дигитален, туку оптички зум, и 16 мегапиксела ултравајд, значи она фишајт или широка леќа. Три леќи, значи едната 48 мегапиксели, 8 мегапиксели и 16 мегапиксели, па кому што му треба. Звук, features, battery, дандара, бамбара, бейзмарк тест и што ти ја знам, ти реков, ми рече. Паре, паре, много паре, нема за тебе. Не знам колку е цената. 1000? 700 евра. Еве го. 700. Оп! Ајде да видиме што вика Невестичево за ова. Имам и translation. Додуше Google Translation, ама може ќе ви заврши работа.
Hey everyone, OnePlus got their start by killing flagships, selling phones at super low prices but with great features. Over the years they evolved and they started making more and more premium phones. Nowadays their newest generation doesn't look out of place next to a $1,000 iPhone or a Galaxy S10. And this is the first year that they've released a Pro variant of their phone. But looks aside, how premium is their newest flagship? And are you giving anything up aside from an IP rating and wireless charging? I'm Angie for GSM Arena, and this is our OnePlus 7 Pro review. I don't think I've ever been this surprised at a OnePlus phone before. This one is the first that I've seen that doesn't look or feel like a OnePlus device. And in fact, when I first picked it up, I thought I was looking at the Mate 20 Pro. The OnePlus 7 Pro feels a little heavier than the OnePlus 6T, and unlike previous years, the screen has a subtle curve that makes the phone's tiny bezels look even thinner than they actually are. Personally, I'm a little split on this decision because while it makes the phone look svelte and elegant, it doesn't really add anything to the phone's experience aside from a little color shift on the edges of the screen. Really, it's an industry-wide trend that I find to be a little silly on any phone. You might have noticed that the super thin bezels aren't marred by a notch for the selfie camera either. That's because it's hidden on the top of the phone and it pops up only when you need it. The camera is rated for 300,000 uses, so the mechanism should be quite durable. OnePlus has said that the phone will use its gyroscope to sense if it's in free fall and retract the camera so it doesn't get damaged. However, if you push the camera in manually, you'll get a warning message telling you to stop doing that. The OnePlus 7 Pro still supports Face Unlock, and while it's not as instant as the one on the OnePlus 6T, the camera pops up quickly enough that you usually don't notice too much of a slowdown. However, since Face Unlock isn't the most secure, you can use the in-display fingerprint reader instead. It's much faster and accurate than the one on the 6T. This is because the sensor itself is slightly larger, there's a new algorithm, and there's also a new 3-element lens. Just tap on the lock screen and then tap on the fingerprint area and you're in. Also, thanks to the higher resolution screen, the unlocking animations look much sharper, although you'll have less time to enjoy them. On the back, the 7 Pro has a gorgeous matte gradient that transitions from indigo to blue. The phone has Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and back, and has an aluminum frame. Sadly, it's more slippery than previous years, so you'll probably enjoy the 7 Pro's looks for a few minutes and then slap a case on it for easier use. Due to the phone's new curves, it also seems a little more likely to break if you drop it, so I wouldn't use it without one. While we're on the subject of durability, OnePlus has never wanted to shell out the money for an IP rating because they haven't wanted to pass down costs to consumers. However, a lot of their previous phones have been at least splash-proof. It's likely that the 7 Pro can handle a bit of rain, although I would hesitate to submerge it, especially with the new motorized camera. If you do decide to risk using it caseless, the phone picks up fingerprints pretty easily, but due to the frosty glass, they don't detract from its looks as much as they would on a shiny back. Looks aside, the buttons are as clicky as ever, and in classic OnePlus style, they've kept the super useful alert slider. What isn't very classic OnePlus, however, is the significant upgrade in the display. Not only is this the first time a OnePlus phone has a QHD resolution, but it has a 90Hz refresh rate, which makes the already speedy Oxygen OS feel impossibly buttery. Hopefully the rest of the industry follows, because after using it for a while, regular 60Hz displays feel a little underwhelming. Of course, not all apps support higher refresh rates, so your mileage will vary, and you can always go into settings to choose 60Hz and save in battery. The 6.7-inch Fluid AMOLED display doesn't disappoint in other areas either. Colors are very accurate in natural mode, and the vivid color calibration is even more pleasant, although with slightly more bluish whites. The display reaches 436 nits of brightness when adjusted manually, and up to 616 nits when set to the adaptive setting, which translates into average sunlight legibility. At night, however, there's been a significant improvement with Night Mode 2.0. This reduces bluish light in the evenings and can now lower screen brightness to under 1 nit. The sliver of a
No, во тон сум, во програма сум. Значи, ова што го видовте претходно, ви го препорачам и нема мобилен што го нема. Тоа е да го направите вашиот мобилен светлината да биде жолто. Поточно да има што е помалку сина светлина. Оваа сина светлина е убава визуелно. Се извинувам. Пардон. Сината светлина дразни. Значи, со мобилен често пати легнувате, од блиску гледате. Ве расонува. Неверојатно делува на одредени центри во мозокот и предизвикува несоница. Мене, компјутер, мобилен, постојано, 24 сата, ја многу користам и секогаш ми е ставено во night mode, поточно вака жолтеникаво. Може би кога гледам филм некој убав, тогаш да, навистина нема потреба онаа супер брайт или кога обработувам фотографија или видео. Но, Ова, користете го, најтопло би го препорачувам. Верувајте, има барем 80% кај луѓето, кај популацијата, она бела, убава, чиста светлина прилично дразни. Може да продолжиме со
The sliver of a speaker on the top bezel and the downward-facing one on the bottom combine to make a stereo setup that's noticeably louder than the 60 and has pretty good audio quality. At max volume, and with certain songs, the audio got a little tinny with treble, but otherwise the sound is richer compared to previous generations.
I'm setting fire to my lungs and catch a kiss with the cyanide under my tongue. And if it kill me, it'll kill me, so let it kill me.
If you get a dongle, since ours didn't have one in the box, sound through headphones is excellent, and if you have high-quality Bluetooth headphones, there's also LDAC streaming. When the screen has the 90 Hz refresh rate turned on, it has a pretty good endurance rating at 85 hours. If, however, you switch it to 60 Hz, endurance jumps to 92 hours. We got about 15% more screen on time with our web browsing tests in particular. Of course, if your phone dies, there's a new 30-watt Warp charger that can get your phone from 0 to 50% in half an hour. The OnePlus 7 Pro is running Oxygen OS 9.5 on top of Android Pie. Oxygen OS has long been one of the best implementations of Android, if not the best. It's a minimalistic UI with zero bloatware and only a few well-thought-out tweaks here and there that actually improve the user experience. Perhaps because of the simplicity, OnePlus phones get updated relatively quickly too. As far as customizations go, there's no theme store or anything like that, but you can tweak the accent colors of the system, choose between a light or a dark mode, and pick an animated wallpaper. You can also choose which type of navigation mode you prefer. There's navigation buttons, a pill mode, and of course, gestures, which along with a refresh rate make everything feel as though it's flying by. There's a OnePlus shelf when you swipe left from the home screen, and you can set shortcuts and access widgets like the parking location service or the new Zen mode. Zen mode is for those seriously addicted to their smartphones, and it disables everything aside from the camera and emergency calls for 20 minutes. The phone automatically suggests Zen mode if you've been gaming for more than 2 hours, though it's up to you to turn it on or not. Like I mentioned previously, night mode has been improved, and there's still reading mode, which turns the screen black and white for more comfy reading. As before, there's no
можеш да го користиш да ти го направи екранот црно-бел за да можеш да читаш текстови. Бидејќи многу е напорно на мобилен во колор екран, гледај. Одлично за читање подолги текстови. Топ.
Black and white for more comfy reading. As before, there's no always-on display, probably because it wastes battery. Instead, there's an ambient display that appears if you tap on the phone when the screen is off. You can choose which clock face you like and whether notifications should appear as they arrive. There's also a new screen recorder which allows you to capture not only what's happening on screen, but also whatever you're saying by using the phone's microphones. That could be a pretty stealthy spy move if you ask me. Gaming mode has also been improved. It features better haptic vibration, a 10-layer liquid cooling system, and a RAM boost whenever you're playing a RAM-intensive game. If you're really into a game, there's also a Fanatic mode, which blocks calls, restricts background tasks, and even stops your secondary SIM from working in order to allocate more resources to gaming. Honestly though, I doubt you're going to need that extra juice most of the time. The 7 Pro sports a Snapdragon 855 chipset, 12 gigs of RAM, and a new 2-lane UFS storage, which almost doubles the read speeds of the OnePlus 6T. With the Galaxy Fold's fate so unsure, the OnePlus 7 Pro is going to be the first phone on the market with this newer storage standard, and it's easily one of the fastest phones you can get. This is the first time since the OnePlus 5 that the company has gone for a drastically different camera setup. The 7 Pro has a new wide-angle camera, OIS on the telephoto, and a 48-megapixel main shooter. Thanks to the new wide-angle camera, there's also a new wheel in the camera software. It allows you to smoothly go from the phone's widest angle to 10 times zoom. In daylight, photos have good exposure and dynamic range. Like on the 6T, colors are accurate and aren't too saturated. However, the 7 Pro also brings out more details from the shadows in comparison. Quality-wise, photos from the main camera aren't too different from what the Galaxy S10 and Huawei P30 Pro produce. Shots from the ultra-wide camera, however, aren't quite as good. Colors are duller and there's quite a bit of distortion. At least shots from the telephoto were better than before, thanks to OIS. photos were clearer and there were more resolved details in comparison to previous generations, although there was still a bit of noise. Portraits from the 7 Pro were great. However, unsurprisingly, there were still some imperfections when it comes to hair. The new sensors allow the main camera to capture more light, and even in auto, the OnePlus 7 Pro took pretty decent low-light photos. There's also a nightscape mode that stacks multiple images to combine exposures for a single clear shot. However, while this mode allowed the 7 Pro to pull more details out of the scene, competitors like the Pixel 3a still have better lighting, more vibrant colors, and even more detail than the OnePlus. Hardware-wise, the pop-up selfie camera sounds like a minor improvement over the one that you'll find on the 6T, but this time around selfies are sharp and have plenty of detail. Dynamic range is good, and HDR does a great job of balancing tones and exposures when taking photos in challenging lighting conditions. 4K videos recorded with the 7 Pro are excellent. Detail is good, colors aren't over the top, and there's no noise. The dynamic range is pretty nice too, although we notice some loss of detail in the shadows. Really, the 7 Pro's biggest flaw is that you can't shoot videos with the ultra-wide lens. Videos in Full HD are just as good. Of course, there's a noticeable loss of detail, but the overall processing is the same. We noticed a prominent sharpening effect, but it seems to help with general video quality. The OnePlus 7 Pro has shaped up to be an extremely premium flagship. Like I said in the beginning, it doesn't have an IP rating or wireless charging, but it not only has the looks, but everything else that you really need for a great phone. It has amazing performance, a great UI, insane fast charging, great battery life, the fastest storage you'll find on the market, a killer screen, and a good camera. That last point has always been the Achilles heel of OnePlus phones, but this camera is plenty good. If you're obsessed with photography and videography, there's better camera phones out there, but if you're just uploading the occasional photo for Instagram or taking photos while on vacation, the 7 Pro has your back and I wholeheartedly recommend it.
Ok, да ви кажам, ни јас, ни моите колеги, а и како и сите вие, прилично сме вака, нели, фанатични во својот бренд. Ја бев Nokia, па од Nokia се префрлив на Samsung, никогаш на Apple. Мојот колега е фанатик и секогаш новиот Apple го има. И сето тоа е една убава навика, луѓето се навикнуваат, те заради оперативен систем, те заради интерактивноста, но мислам дека доаѓа она време кога, еве, ја имам, ова е Note 8-мицата. Note 8-мицата која е стакло, која вака ми падна на бетон и али прекрасен телефон. Но многу брзо ја во овој момент, дури додека се премислував дали Huawei да рчнам, веќе се фасцинирав. Имено бев во една мобилара, премиум мобилара во кисела вода и ова чудо го земам во раце. Мислам, ја стварно на прв потек на вакви работи не реагирам. Треба малце да го поработам и така натаму. И затоа, кога дојдов овдека, демек под закрила, еве, драги мои, јас да ви покажам нешто интересно да видиме, повеќе и јас да видам, викам, за што се работи. Па се надевам дека може би, еве, идната недела да го видиме баш овдека во живо, на страна оваа бабушкава од Булгаркава овдека што ни израскажа, ќе го видиме ние, па некој мој впечаток. Не сум многу стручен, али сум малтретирач на телефони. Па, од мој аспект да видиме како ќе изгледа тоа. Интересно ми е. Знаеш, бидејќи добро е за мобилната телефонија кога покрај Samsung и Apple, кои владееја исклучиво, прв беше Apple, неприкосновен, Samsung го престигна двојно, тројно, па се појави Huawei, кои и едните и другите почна да ги гази, па почна војната, па почна со Google X+, и еве го сега со OnePlus, така што мене ми се допаѓа. Знаете, колку поголема конкуренција, толку повеќе ќе добиеме за помалку пари. Пазете сега, ова е основна цена, сега стартна, 700 евро. Тоа брзо ќе почне да му паѓа цената. 48 мегапиксели, што мене ми значи? Ми значи многу, затоа што кога правам фотографија, а после ја кропувам, од неја вадам детали. Например, снимам градилиште од далеку, бидејќи, например, кога прават некоја беља, не ми даваат од близко и го снимам градилиштето. како загадува. Многу снимам од далеку. Ако имам многу мегапиксели, ја можам узумираното да извадам многу добра фотографија, кај што ќе се видат детали. Значи, ја не можам секогаш да носам телеобјектив, нели, да имаш Canon, па да имаш 500 мм, па што ти ја знам, месечината ќе ја снимам. Тоа е профи, тоа бара услови, тоа што се вика онака репортерско, а вака мобилен се во мене кога го имам, може, мислам дека е многу подобро. Така што, окей, фасциниран сум. I am really fascinated. Уште само да го донесам малце да го поработам. Да го видам оперативниот систем, чисто филингот, отвори, затвори, бидејќи знаеме што е, колку брзо и така натаму и така натаму. И сите сакаме добар телефон за што е можно помалце пари, нели? И на што е можно повеќе рати, нели? И некој да ни го откупи стариот телефон за што е можно повеќе рати. Yes?